Um, I'm glad to see like a lot of new faces in William. I was invited to talk about culture in Timor, Timorese culture. But it was a really big topic, so I was thinking about it, and then I come to this topic. It sounds heavy, but don't worry, I will take you through it. And then during my presentation, if you don't understand anything, you can just interrupt and then ask me, I'll clarify. So, the presentation today, I will start with a little bit of introduction, and then I will talk about Timorese cosmology, and then followed with symbolism, and then I talk about sociality in Timor-Leste, and then followed with some discussion. So Timorese culture. I mean, Timorese, we are very proud of our culture. Today the welcome reception is part of our culture. By giving you the ties, we welcome you, that we trust you. It's a sign that we are trusting each other, that in the next in the next few days, few weeks, a few years, that we will be working together. We are giving heart to each other. That's what this one is symbolized. It's a symbol of strength. So, Timorese culture. I want to say that our culture was oppressed during colonial times, during Portuguese time and during Indonesian time. When we talk about colonialism, people tend to focus on discussing the physical oppression or physical subjugations, but not many people discuss about subjugation of ideas, of concept, of those who are colonized, especially the indigenous people. This is what happened to our culture, Timorese culture. But luckily, Timorese culture is very adaptable. It has the ability to adapt to the new changes. That's why we are lucky today. We still have our culture, and still, I think most of them still remain. So, during, for example, during 24 years of Indonesian occupation, they banned us to practice our culture and our traditions. We are forced to, in terms of belief system, for example, we are forced to choose five official of Indonesian religion, and we are not allowed to practice our culture. But after independence, now I can see that a lot of people, they are trying to rediscover themselves, try to go back to their roots, and try to rebuild their culture. I move on to cosmology. Timorese cosmology is based on the concept of dualism. Dualism concept is a concept that, in life you have two opposing things, like masculine, feminine, negative, positive, like the yin yang of the Chinese. You have these two opposing ideas or two opposing values that in life they must work together to complement each other in order to create peace and harmony in the society. To achieve peace and harmony in society, these two values, these two opposing ideas, they must constantly balance each other and complement each other all the time. Failing of doing that, you will put yourself, your family, your clan, your entire society at risk of falling into catastrophic events. In here you see two symbols. This is two of our most famous symbols. On the left-hand side, you see Kaipau. I bow is normally we wear in the head. It's like a crown. It's the masculine symbol. And then on the right hand side, that's the belak. It's a disc. It's the feminine symbol. I will take you through what this symbol represents. So the masculine symbol and the feminine symbol, I want to put that in our world. So we have two worlds of masculine and feminine. The feminine is located inside, and the masculine it's outside. I want to explain the relationship between the two worlds. The feminine is the most important one, the inside. Why? Because they are believed to be the root of life. They control the most the most important values for our society, the source of life, the root of life. That's why they must be protected by the masculine world in the outer layer in the diagram. The feminine world represents the idea of peace, fertility, and tranquility, while the masculine world they represent the idea of security, strength, and protection. Like I said before, the two worlds in our life, they must come together, they must complement each other all the time. One thing you need to notice that this diagram, they replicate itself within these two worlds. For example, within the masculine world, you will have feminine and masculine as well. And then within the feminine, you will also divide it feminine and masculine. So it will replicate all the time. Based on my previous statement, when you have, I divided the diagram into three, is that the real world, I divided into two worlds of masculine and feminine, while the conceptual world remain the same. Three things here. One thing we need to know is in the middle of it, it's lulit. What is lulit? Lulit is the very core of our values. It represents our concept of life. It regulates the relationship between the masculine and the feminine world, because this is real world. So all our rules, regulations, moral standards, our concept of life, it's all coming from lulit. So it's like our constitution. It's like our constitution, and it regulates three things. One is the relationship between people and the divine, and then people and people, and then people and the environment, land, nature, etc. So what exists in the masculine world and feminine world, in the real world, in the real sense, is that you can see a table here. For example, in the feminine world, they have divine entities. In the masculine world, against people. The same with nature is also the masculine will be the people. And parent, child, wife giver, wife taker. I will take you to. I will talk about this more later. And then we have ritual power, political power. That's in our governance system. We have all the younger, all values. So you see, it's in opposition, but it's complement each other all the time. So I explained before that this diagram replicate in here, and also in here. Now, the entities within the two worlds, they're not stagnant. They're not remain in one world. They can move around. For example, the wife giver here, at the moment, they have wife taker. But at the same time, they also can be wife taker. Why I'm saying that? Because this represents our marriage relationship. Because me as a person, I have, if my sister married out, then I will have a feminine relationship with my sister's family as the wife taker. But when I'm married, I develop a masculine relationship with my wife's family. So my wife's family is the life giver to my family, to myself, but then at the same time me uh, will act as the life giver or wife giver to my sister's family who's married out. I hope it's not too complicated. Yeah. Um, Now about our symbolism. If when you're traveling around, when you see our sacred houses, you will probably come across some of this. I want to explain a little bit of our symbolism. You see here, this is my own sacred house in my village in Keke. You see there's a big buffalo horn, and then on top of the horn there's a star. There's two stars actually, and then two birds. I will explain to you what they represent later. And then also in this one, in this sacred house, you see this one is still a horn. It's just in different form. And then you see the bird in there, also the star. Also, you notice that in previous sacred houses, when they have black color, white color, and then green color. In this house, this is a house, a sacred house in Uzbekistan. You still see the horn, and then there's a love sign in the middle there, and then there's birds, and also you can see similar colors of the three houses. And then in this one, they have no color, but it's still horn, and then a star, and then also a moon. In this slide, all our symbolism I put back into our cosmology. So the buffalo horn is, and the black color, that represent the masculine values. It's about strength, security, and protection. And then birds, moon, sometimes you see woman's breast, and then seashell, and the green color, that represents the idea of fertility. That's the feminine symbols. And then and then the star, also the heart and white color. That's represent the conceptual, the spiritual world. The color is white because the concept must be pure. It represents the idea of purity, the pure ideas, the good ideas for people to be. I just want to show you this picture because in some of our sacred houses, you will not find those horn and star and bird, but you just see the breast. Why the breast is important? Because this is from matrilineal society house. Breast is important because that's the symbol, the very symbol of fertility itself, and it gives life. Because mother feeds the baby with the breast. That's why they carve it in our sacred house. In here, there are several Umanuli from different regions in Timor. You can see the similarities of like this one. There's a horn and several birds in here. I think this is around Maubisi of Mumbai people. And this one, and also that one is from Laga and Kelekai. We drive through those places. Can you see the horn, the bird, and the seashell. This one is from Los Palos, from Lautem, from where Juvenal is from. I think probably we see some of these. And then this is from Benelales. They put a real horn, a real buffalo horn on the top to show the masculine symbol. Also, I want to show you this picture because it's important. This is Tarabandu. On the left-hand side, Tarabandu is our way of creating new law and regulations to protect the environment, to regulate the relationship between people or between the divine. So, on the left-hand side, this is a Tarabandu symbol that found in Elmera, in the coffee plantation area. When you see this symbol, it is a warning. It is a warning sign that, you know, it's normally they put it close to the coffee plantation. It's a warning to the past buyers saying that don't steal the coffee, don't destroy the coffee, because if you do, you will be you will be hung upside down and you will dry like the leaves. It's a curse, a sign actually. If you dare to break the local laws and regulations, because they put this up in rituals, so like they put some sort of spell on the sign. So people really respect it when they see this kind of symbol. On the right hand side, you see this is actually our totem poles. This one is from Mumbai, people around Mumbai, around Maubisi, Ainaro and Maubisi area. They raise a totem poles like this. It's because they want to create first. Probably they want to create a new regulation, a Tarabandu that regulate them probably forever or up until certain period that they agree upon. It also can represent a blood oath. If they come together, they want to make blood brothers through oath, not through blood, but through oath. So they erected that. I don't want to go too much detail on this because it's going to be too much for you. This is the same one, but here they have 5 branches, and here are 3 branches. All these branches represent the number of clans that form. A number of founding ancestors that form the clan. Sociality, our sociality, I mean, it's very big subject, but I try to summarize it. I hope you can read it. I already talked about Timor-Leste relationship. One is with the God, with the divine entities. One is with nature. The other one is with each other. First, I want to talk about our divine entities. Timorese belief system, we believe in a fertility goddess. So it's not a god, but it's a goddess. It's a feminine, focused on fertility. So all our rituals, our ceremonies, are revolved around the idea of appreciating fertility. Also, it's because we are subsistence of farming society, so fertility is very important to us. And then the statue here represents the fertility god itself. In the past, it was this kind of statue stored inside the sacred houses, and people pray to it. Unluckily, in Timor at the moment, in technique like this fertility goddess, they call it Maromak, which is feminine, but now the church adopted the term. Now it is used inside the church, but it's referred to a masculine god. And then to nature, to environment. In the previous slide, I show you how we create our new laws. Some of the laws that we create is to protect our environment because environment is very important to us. At Timor-Leste, we believe that all the natural resources, they have guardians. I think Lisa wrote about it in terms of water. So we believe that all important natural resources, they have a guardian, like Bear 9 is the guardian of the water, Ride 9 is the guardian of the land, 4-9 is the guardian of the mountain, etc., etc. So our relation with our environment, we treat environment like a living person because they're guardian. I mean, to be able to go take water from the spring, there are certain things that you have to follow. Certain hours you cannot go there because at that hours probably the guardian is using the water. So we treat them with some sort of respect like that. But because of that also, during colonial times, people label us as uncivilized, believing in superstitions and things like that. But for us, we just try to protect what is important to us, you know. And then in people-to-people relationship, which is the main thing, the main relationship between people is we have three relationships there. First is brother and sister relations, brother and brother relation, and sister relation. This is the most important relationship because this is form the basis of our society. Timor society is a relation of brother and sister, or wife keeper and wife taker. Like I say, when I get married, I form an alliance with my wife taker, and we will support each other in our entire life. And then through time, we will also have exchange of goods in our life and death rights. You know, we constantly exchange goods in order to cement this relationship. So Timor is a country of, we call it money. Money, the literal translation is white people, white people. You know. And then sister-to-sister relationship is normally they form the basis for matriarchal society, which comprises like 12% of the population. And then the other one, brother and brother relationship. But they also the basis of clan or society in patrilineal society. So that's our relationship. I think my presentation stop here. If you have questions, we can discuss about it.